Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, Place of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I don't mean to sound dismissive, it's just, it's later in the day. I've been talking a lot today. I can't talk with the same level of enthusiasm where tomorrow my vocal cords will be shredded. And when you have a vocal tone and timbre like mine, it's hard to sound, you know, quieter without sounding either low energy or sarcastic. But I want you to know I'm not feeling that way. I'm just trying to be a little, you know what? Lean back in the old Herman Miller and prepare yourself for some high octane Isaac play. GXG9 HPPX. HPP is a warm X. You guys know it's the Beatles. Perhaps you've heard of them. They had a new movie that came out the other day. In fact, I think it came out. I think it came out yesterday. Ooh, baby. So here's the thing. This run is already awesome. Realistically, what are we hoping to accomplish with a D8 roll? You know, there's not a whole heck of a lot. There's not that much room for improvement here. You know, you always got to set the stage early on. We have 7 rate of fire, 4 damage. I'll roll it once. Oh my god. Okay. I might hold it there, because we're the luckiest people on planet Earth right now. We got 6.5 damage and a 7 rate of fire. They don't, you know, create too many circumstances in which you can do better than that. Oh my lord. Early on an Eden run. And a Roid Rage actually immediately canceled out all the negative effects. So basically, this is the dream scenario. Sorry to everybody who's in love with the item, the D8, but it's already served its purpose. You know, if I bought lottery tickets and I won the lottery, I would stop buying lottery tickets. That's not to say that you can't win the lottery again. Believe it or not, I understand probability. Many people assume that I have a single-digit IQ. The reality is I have a double-digit IQ. Thank you very much. I understand probability. You could win the lottery again. You're no less likely to win the lottery again. But the thing is that lottery, is it likely to change your quality of life as much as the first one? Exactly. Keep in mind, you know, lottery winners, very often, after a year, they're back where they started financially. So if you win 2 lotteries, it's pretty much guaranteed. Oh, I'm so dumb, dude. You think lottery winners have like a Facebook group where they can get together and they go like, man, nobody understands. I mean, I won Powerball. It was $75 million. It was like a lot of money. But it's not like you don't have to worry about it anymore. I mean, you still gotta watch what you spend. You can't go out and buy 10 Versace sofas every day. Everybody just assumes we have unlimited money. Plus, after tax, I only got to take home 43 million of it. You know, more money, more problems. If anybody out there has won the lottery, first off, congratulations. I think it's a circumstance where congratulations are in order. Here's the thing. If you're an analytical person and you don't buy lottery tickets, you're never going to win the lottery. That's guaranteed. I will never win the lottery. I don't buy lottery tickets. The odds of me winning the lottery versus the odds of me, you know, losing thousands of dollars over the course of my lifetime on lottery tickets, I understand. It's a losing game. However, you could win. I don't like to gamble. I find gambling kind of... I'm trying to think of the word. We got so lucky, by the way, to get a deal with the devil, so let's focus on that briefly. Even if we don't want the item, that was luck. I'm going to go back for the curse room. I definitely want this for Get Ansus. I don't like to gamble like casino style, but I now and then... you know, if we're at a Vancouver Canucks game, participate in like the charity raffle or something like that. You know, you pay $10 for 3 tickets. If you win, you get half the profits. The other half goes to charity. I want to be clear. I'm not participating because half of it goes to charity. It would be very easy to lie there and to say I'm participating in this because, oh, at least it's a good cause. That's what I tell myself when I lose. In the moment, I'm participating because I want my 50%. Yo, it's a D Infinity. I've been seduced by the D Infinity still. I think it's acceptable here. I'm not saying it shouldn't go to charity. Quite the opposite. I'm happy it does. But the reason I participate is because of the financial involvement, for sure. However, that's just like, it's not different. It is still gambling, clearly. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I feel like there's a difference between, like, I'm going to go spend 2 hours at a slot machine and, you know, like, while I'm at a sporting event, I had to toss $10 at this raffle. Maybe you disagree. I mean, on a semantic level, there's not a huge difference, I guess. Or actually, quite the opposite. On a general level, there's not a huge difference. On a semantic level, I think there is a large difference, but anyway. So I understand the appeal of the lottery. I'm very much not one of those people who's like, the lottery is like an idiot tax. I think the lottery is... You can be a rational person, in my opinion, and still play the lottery. Rationally, you know, you're like, I don't expect to win. But you get, you know, you're paying for the chance to win, but you're also paying for that little bit of adrenaline, you know? The like, I gotta check the numbers, because you never know. Same reason I follow my own YouTube subscription graph, you know? Maybe Isaac had a big day yesterday. I gotta go check it out. Or maybe Jimmy Fallon watched an Isaac episode, you know? You never know, you know? It's just it's exciting. Keeps you invested. We are too fast. My furiousness, not at a high level at the present moment. Please, I'd like to go inside of the crawl space. There, the crevasse. Fill it with your mighty truth. I don't know what he says. With your mighty truth, maybe? You know, it's from Wonder Boy, Tenacious D's second most famous song. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. Yeah, I'm gonna pay for tarot cloth. Is it dangerous? Of course. On the other hand, it's even more dangerous. It's doubly dangerous, because I'm probably going to D100 myself. But, so we won't even get the benefit of it. But, it's very good as well. It's not necessarily very good when you only got the Magician, but my bullets might home in twice as quickly, with twice as much homing power. Yo. Tell you what, hit me. Let's do it. Ooh, range is a bit of a problem. Range is 5? Is that even, is that possible? Now, rate of fire, on the other hand, is 2. Damage is 6. And by the way, Baba is you, and Zendaya is Michi. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I heard that song, too, because every time it comes on Google Play Music, I hit the dang skip button. Hold on, we're cool. I mean, not cool, let's not be ridiculous, but, you know, we're safe. That's what I'm trying to say. What was I talking about? I don't know. I don't know, man, like, of all the vices... Some of them I get, some of them I just don't get. And don't get me wrong, by the way, I'm glad I don't get them. I get alcohol. I drank, well, throughout college, for sure. I understand. Oftentimes, here, I'm not endorsing it, by the way, but oftentimes, it can enhance your enjoyment. Now, I would say that as you get older, and I know I'm not old, but as you get older, you gotta be careful. Body doesn't react necessarily the same way, and although maybe it can still enhance good times as you get older, you don't want to have to rely on it to have a good time. That's the dangerous situation right there. I think we're good to go down to the next floor. You know, when you're 19 and you know, you're away at college, you're meeting new people maybe. It's a different situation than if you're like, you know, 55 and everything in your life hinges around, you know, one liquid. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to be controversial, but still. Your body doesn't react the same way. I think your mind doesn't react the same way either. It was a terrible roll, but we are very fast. Actually, even on the terrible roll, we're still good here. I think we've established that as far as vices go, I also don't get, like, you know, adrenaline-seeking behavior. I guess gambling maybe falls into that. I'm happy I don't understand gambling. Even when I have a good time gambling, I feel no compulsion whatsoever to, like, do it again within the next, like, year and a half. In fact, I don't think I never feel a compulsion to gamble, essentially, ever, outside of video games where I'm like, oh, let it ride. Just not in my genetic makeup or psychological makeup for whatever reason. Again, not bragging. Just thankful. Because, you know,
feels like I'm walking on
my grandfather loved to gamble. I'm happy that somehow it wasn't passed on to me. Because I think, you know, there's less healthy outlets for that. I'm not trying to get too involved in the pathos here, I'm just saying. That's why I'm sympathetic to the loot box cause, to be honest, because as much as every bone in my body is like, won't somebody think of the corporation? I also, you know, I understand that for some people, I would think it's a larger percentage of the population than you would probably think. You know, it's not that they can't rationally understand that they're spending too much money on loot boxes. Is that they got like this psychic itch that's like, dude, I've already put, you know, 50 bucks into the loot boxes to try to get Darth Sidious. What's another 50 as long as I get it? You know, it's a dangerous attitude for sure. Okay, Ruka, you may meow, but what do you want from me, my son? What are you looking for here? You want to be in the office, or you want to be a nuisance? You want to be in the box? He hasn't decided yet. All he knows is loud in the living room because Kate's playing Mario Maker. That's fair. That's why I'm in here, buddy. I'm hiding out. You have safe passage here. Oh, he's snoozing? Beautiful. Dude, how good, by the way, is Mario Maker? I'm taking a little heat, but I also understand, you know, different people like different things. People are a little upset about the criteria I use to boo or yay a level. All I say to that is, you know, I understand, but also, why are you booing me? I'm right. It's just, you know, different people want different things. That's sort of the same thing, you know? Who is more knowledgeable about what deserves a thumbs up and what deserves a thumbs down than a man who's gotten millions of each throughout his career? That's my opinion on that. The irony is not lost on me, by the way. It might be lost on some people. That the very same people who thumbs downed my brain in videos for Slay the Spire play are like, don't thumbs down that guy's Mario Maker level. Even though it sucked, he worked hard on it. Where was that compassion when I was losing 300 runs in a row in Slay the Spire? Putting my blood, sweat, and tears, my gray matter atrophying, dying on the vine. Didn't exist back then. Yo, let there be light. I'm just being facetious. I don't want to stoke the fire of an adversarial relationship. You gotta, it's weird, you know? You ever have a fight with somebody? Not physically, necessarily, but you ever have a fight with somebody that starts with, like, somebody telling a joke, and then it ends with, like, everybody being extremely upset? Like, you crack a joke at somebody's expense, and then they go, oh, what do you mean? And then you go, well, I was just telling a joke, how, you know, like, it's funny that blah, blah. And then they get, like, actually offended by it, and the vibe in the room totally changes. I feel like that's what happens sometimes on YouTube, and I'm guilty of it for sure. Is like, chat's like, "Hey Egg, I love you, but you're dumb," and I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" Yeah, well, if you loved me, you wouldn't call me dumb. And they're like, "Well, it was mostly just like a joke." And I'm like, "You know what a real joke is? You're dumb." And then, you know, by the end of it, we're like, that's the end of the Sekiro series. But anyway, I'm trying to avoid the mistakes of Egg's past, you know what I mean? I'm loving Mario Maker. I'm having a great time playing it. We might disagree on what constitutes a great level, but I think we all know entertainment when we see it, you know? I feel like an intellectual discourse of what makes a good Mario Maker level comes second to, is my man dying as he goes off the cliff? Okay. Necropolis 1, right on schedule. You know what? Hit me with the D8. I don't dislike it. Hit me with the pair throw. The time is coming when we're gonna want to swap the D Infinity for something else. Just because, like, without... What's the expression? I don't necessarily like it. If you sit for everything, you stand for nothing. I don't understand. I've got it totally wrong, so now it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, it's just a botched metaphor, pretty much from the get-go. It's something like, how can you stand for anything? Something like this? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Dude, let me point out, by the way, if you ever doubted how good Google is, here's what I typed into Google. How can you stand for anything? I love talking to Google, dude. You know why? Because Google is not a human being. All you need to do is have relevant words. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. The metaphor is not perfect, but I kind of feel it, you know, on this D Infinity run. The D Infinity is us not standing for anything, and then falling for anything is I think it represents Holden Caulfield's distaste for society, you know? I think that the baseball glove represents his desire to catch a life that is more interesting than the life his parents led. And its weathered appearance represents his disillusionment with that idea over the course of the book. Now, I've never read The Catcher in the Rye. Was I close? Not at all? All right. Run. It worked. He's a genius. This is... You know what? Hit me one more time. My loneliness, I must confess, is killing me now. Don't you know? I still believe that you can roll me into an epic fetus run. Nope. These are terrible stats. I'm just begging you for a slight statistical improvement. To the point. Just hit me. Just hit me. Okay? Really appreciate it. Thank you. Hit you with one of those. Guess what? I'm Beelzebub and I got epic fetus. My man is psychic. He's got ESPN. It's a joke from Mean Girls. But I do want you to know, as somebody whose existence predated Mean Girls, that joke also predated Mean Girls as well. That doesn't mean it's a bad joke, though. Did I already talk about Booksmart, by the way? Probably did. My memory of these videos is, like, all off because, you know, basically my routine when my parents are here was, like, wake up early, hit the gym, record a Gungeon and an Isaac episode ASAP, stream if it was a stream day, and then so I'm getting mind flooded by good-natured screaming coming from the other room. You know, we're rich. Give me one of those. And then go hang out with my parents. So I don't even remember what I talk about. But here's, you want to know how I got the Booksmart from Mean Girls? Both of them are, I mean, you ready? Get out the whiteboard. Mean Girls, 2004 film, directed by Tina Fey. Tina Fey worked on Saturday Night Live with Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis happens to be the husband of Olivia Wilde. Actress, comedian, writer, director, who helmed Booksmart. Now, on top of that, they both are films set in high school that are, you know, they've got a razor-sharp wit. And they're both quite good. But there you go. There's your... How do you get from Mean Girls to Booksmart? It's already been demonstrated. So do not sweat it. What do we got? Still Epic Fetus. I'm loving these stats. I'm looking at the stats, and I'm loving them. I'm not sure if the stats work that well with Epic Fetus specifically, but... That was a complicated situation. Chocolate milk, explosivo shots, hit the enemy, and left a chocolate milk shot right on his face. Anyway, if you haven't seen Booksmart, go see Booksmart. Well, I mean, I'll level with you. It's not a movie you have to see in theaters if you're one of the people that's exclusively concerned with, like, is it worth seeing on a big screen? I don't subscribe to that reasoning because I'm 100 years old and I consider, you know, a movie is... Hey, I have to be honest with you, okay? It's gonna sound, like, a little boring, but as an adult who's, like, you know... not imbibing adult beverages on the regular, the number of adult activities out there is relatively low, to be honest with you. Now, Vancouver is kind of notorious for like being a little bit low on the nightlife scale. Thank you for that. But it really, you know, I love the city. Sincerely. You know, it's like a Vancouver, I love you, but you're bringing me down sort of thing. I love the city, but I do end up defaulting to the movie theater as a prime source of outside entertainment from time to time, because it's like, you know, there's only like a few different genres here of adult activity. There's like outdoorsy stuff, which is fine. I'm not against it, you know. You're gonna laugh at what I'm about to say, but we get outdoors. You know why? Because we're playing a lot of freaking Pokemon Go. I'm trying to walk, you know, at least 25 kilometers a week on top of the normal gym time, just so I can get some freaking Stardust, not be embarrassed every time I try to raid. But you know, it does get you out of the house. Sure, it's not hiking, mountain climbing, kayaking, etc., etc. But I don't like that stuff. So there's outdoorsy stuff, including like intramural sports, which I guess are not intramural. I don't even know what the word means outside of, you know what I mean, casual weekend sports. Not really my sort of thing, you know? And then on top of that, it's like, you know, movie theaters and drinking. I think that's why, like, adults struggle to make friends. And I'm being sincere. I think people are of the impression that, like, oh, it's so much harder to make friends as adults because, like, you know, oh, as a kid, everybody's so open and, you know, you say hello to people at all times. You try to make friends with everybody. I do think that's partly true, but I also think, like, a lot of adults, kind of myself included, just, like, they work and then they, like, do nothing else. Nothing else that actually exposes them to new people. I don't mean, like, they work, go to sleep, and that's their whole lives. I just mean, like, because, I mean, that's just sad. But, if you're doing that, stop. You gotta live for more than that. Get a hobby of some sort, you know? But, I think, you know, most adults is like, if you're not going out, you're not meeting people. If you're not meeting people, you're not making new friends. Now, you might be okay with that. To be honest, I'm pretty okay with it. It's not that I have no space in my life for friends. It's just that I have little space in my life for strangers. And as a result, I don't make that many new friends. People have got to force their way into my friend circle, which sounds like an invitation. I promise you it's not. But people are like, you know, you get... It's like a unfair if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best sort of situation, because I may not respond to your direct messages for a bit. Either way. You know, I just wish... they're kind of coming back. I think that we as millennials are doing a good thing. You know, the arcades and game parlors that existed when we were younger, that then disappeared, we're bringing them back. You know, I see way more, like, arcades. Way more, pinball parlors. Stuff like, you know, Round 1, bowling alleys, Top Golf, etc., etc. I think all that stuff's cool, dude. Adults need more things that they can do outside that's not shopping, drinking, seeing a movie. If you're not outdoorsy, you know, if you're outdoorsy, you got the world's your oyster, depending on where you live and what time of the year it is. But you get the idea. Just get them, dude. Thank you. You get what I mean? I don't know. I just want... Here's the thing. When I was a kid, I wanted to go to the arcade all the time. But I had no means to get myself to the arcade. And I had no money. I didn't grow up destitute, but I didn't have possession of the money. I had to ask my parents, and if I asked my parents, there's a chance they might say no, and then, you know, it's a whole thing. Yo, check this out, dude. I'm dumb. I'm just dumb. I thought that I was holding the void. Well, I mean, the nail's still really good, but now that I'm older, I want to go to the arcade. I got less time, but I've got the ability to get myself to the arcade, and I've got disposable income I can spend at the arcade. Here's the problem for me now, and this is why I guess I'll never be content. All the arcades are gone. There's only a few left in Vancouver. Now, one of them that's left, I dare not go in, because I'm pretty sure, you can Google it. It's called the, what is it called? It's, give me one second, I can find it here. I'll read some reviews of this. Movie Land. That's it. It's got good reviews, actually. Dude, straight up, this place rules. If you can't appreciate the best retro arcade in all of North America, then it's your own fault. Alright. How about this one? Movie Land is a classic arcade with just a hint of pornography. See, the place is a little weird. It's got a 5-star review from 3 months ago. It smells as any dive arcade should. If you don't love this place, it's simply you've yet to realize that it's a living museum. Experience the authentic 90s arcade experience while you still can. Okay. That's not a bad review. There is no finer establishment in all of Canada. Feels like you went back in time. Unfortunately, poor maintenance. One of the strangest places in Vancouver. This is a lesser tier arcade. You know what? I trust Patrick W here. He's got a W. The place is grimy and run down. There are other establishments in Vancouver worth visiting. I don't know, man. See, it seems like it's one of those places. I've been to a lot of places like this. And you're not going to believe me because I put out this image of being like, sir, I'll take your finest high IBU IPA. Oh, okay, fine. I'll just take whatever. What Hefeweizens do you have on tap? No, but like, I've been to some grimy places like on purpose. I got no problem with dive bars, but like, for an arcade, I don't want to put 25 cents into the machine and get killed. It's a little bit of a dismissive attitude, I suppose. But, I don't know, man. And then all the other arcades that are not... Like, it's almost like it requires a little seedy element to survive with the traditional style arcade now, because all the other ones are just like, oh yeah, all the arcade machines, we threw those out back when Deal or No Deal came out. You know how much money we make off tickets? Smells like bleach, but not in a good way. Bit sketchy outside and inside. Not very clean. This place could be cleaned up. Uh-oh. I come from Portland, where they have an amazing arcade called Ground Control. It's a depressing place to walk into after you've been to Ground Control. It's greasy, and not in the good kind. What? It's in like every review. Vancouver is hipster enough that we should have a decent arcade that serves alcohol, has live DDR, rock band competitions, and new pinball machines, and a cool interior. Maybe I'll just open my own. Okay, well, like, Joseph, This review was written 6 years ago. I hope. Did you open your own? Because I would love to know. Cool place. They take quarters, etc., and there are dirty short movies near the back of this place. You see what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm stuck up. But I feel like the only... I mean, I see it coming back a little bit for sure. But I do feel like, you know, where's my... I guess the answer is round 1. Where is it in Vancouver, though? Where's my combination bowling alley plus... maybe not movie theater, but bowling alley plus pinball arcade plus regular arcade plus, you know, darts plus laser tag facility, you know? Doesn't exist here yet. Also, I mean, I'm asking a lot here, but not run down would also be cool. Look, I'm not afraid of the seedier elements necessarily. I'm just saying, you know, you could put it. I'll drive the Burnaby. Doesn't bother me. I noticed that when I was in New York for Champions of Fire. I was like, dude, I prefer Vancouver to New York in a huge way. But when we were inside of an adult establishment, well, just a bar. I don't know why I called it such a weird name. There was a skee ball table, and it was like the wool had been pulled over my eyes. I was like, you guys don't have laws against having skee ball tables in arcades? And then Rob was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, nothing, dude. It's like, I don't know why I said that. We don't have, Canada's cool, dude. We don't have that kind of ridiculous legislation surrounding video games and parlor games here. Of course. Anyway, I don't know. I've been rambling for a bit. I know I've been rambling because we're 25 minutes into the episode, but the runtime on the video is like 32 minutes. I will say, I think I've besmirched the good name of the Palladium Arcade. I would rather go to the sketchy arcade than the arcade that has like... I mean, most of the arcades that are not like that in Vancouver are like 75% 8-year-old kids winning tickets in games of chance, which is fine, you know, they're kids. And then like 4 Tekken cabinets exclusively operated by professional esports players and absolutely nothing in between. Like 1 House of the Dead 2 cabinet and then 1 weird like 4D Luigi's Mansion sort of piece of garbage, and then, you know, an arcade racing game from 1996. I don't know what I want, is what I'm trying to get at here. Here's the thing. I don't know what my HP is at. I'm assuming it's probably good. But let's just finish this one off. I got off the rails in this one, but you know what? One way or the other, we win. Not a difficult win. We started with the Infinity, the D-Infinity Stone. 4 wins in a row, and we're starting to make it back. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.